Parshas Vayishlach, Sheni, the second portion, we're holding now Perek Lamed Beis, Pasuk Yedalad. Vayalel Sham Balaylahu, and he slept there that night. Vayikach ben Abba biyadei mincha le'esav achiv, and he took from what came into his hand a gift for his brother Esav. Rashi Abba biyadei b'reshusay, which means in his possession. V'chein vayikach has kol artzi biyadei, similarly, and he took all his land from his possession. Medrash Agada min Abba biyadei. According to the Medrash, it says what came into his hand means avonim tevis margolius, precious stones and pearls. What a person binds in a packet and carries in his hand. Another explanation means what came into his hands. This means ordinary animals. Because he already gave meiser. As it says, and I will surely give meiser. And he took animals for a gift. What did he separate for Esav? Izim Masayim, 200 she-goats, Usyashim Esrim, 20 he-goats, Rechelim Masayim, 200 ewes, Ve'elim Esrim, 20 rams. Rashi says, what's up is this cheshbon? Why this cheshbon? Masayim Izim Tzrichim Esrim Tiyashim. 200 she-goats require 20 he-goats. Rechein Kulam, so all of them. Ascharim Kedei Tzerech and Akevas, according the males, according to what was required by the females. Where here the Chachamim derive the Eino duties in the Torah. Hatayalim b'chol, men of leisure have to have Eino every day. Apayalim shtayim b'Shabbos, the Payalim, which are workers, twice a week. Hachamonim achas b'Shabbos, donkey drivers once a week. Hagamalim achas l'shteshim yom, camel drivers once in 30 days. Asaponim achas l'shisha chadashim, sailors once in 6 months. Any day you have the Chavan Medrash B'Zev Kibun. She says, I don't know, however, this Medrash arrives at exactly these requirements. It appears to me that we can learn the Eino duties that are not uniform with every person, but according to the burden that the person has. Now, since they are burden, since they have to, since they are free from work, they generally mate frequently, and each male can therefore impregnate 10 females. So, in regards to the bulls, they are occupied with work. He gave each male only 4 males. For donkey, which goes long distances, 2 males for every male. For camels, which go longer distances, 1 female for a male. Gemalim, Meinikois, Uveneim Shleishim, 30 nursing camels with their young. Param Arba, Param Asada, 40 cows and 10 bulls. Asadis Esrim, Bayarim Asarash, 20 she donkeys and 10 he donkeys. With them. What does it mean? And their children, which means they're builders. Those who impregnate them. Zachar keneged nekeva, a male corresponding to a female. But since the camels is discreet in mating, Torah does not publicize it. Male donkeys. And he gave it into his hands. He gave it into his hands of his servants, each herd individually. And he said to the servants, pass before me, pass on ahead of me, and make a space between one herd and another herd. So Rashi, every species by itself. Pass on before me, a day journeys or less, and I will come after you. And make a space. One herd before the next with a distance of eye, in order to satisfy the eye of the wicked man and like bewilder him with the many gifts that he's going to receive. And he commanded the first one, saying, when my brother Esav meets you, and asks you, to whom you belong, and where are you going? And whom are these before you? Mi ato shamiata, which means to whom do you belong? Mi shalechacha, who is sending you? The Targum Daman at Targum says, who are you? Mi elafanecha, and whom are these before you? Elafanecha shamihem, to whom is this gift being sent? Mi amincha zishlucho. Lamish meshamesh b'shatev makom shel. The word the lamish serves as the beginning of the word shel. Kumay v'chol asher ata re'alihu. Shalihu Hashem Rasulullah Shel Hashem. Pasuk Chitas. V'amart al Adachal Yaakov, and you shall say, I belong to the servant Yaakov. Minchi Shalucha, it's a gift sent to my master. Ladini lays to my master Esav. V'nei gamu acharenu, and behold, he himself is behind us. V'amart al Adachal Yaakov. Alisha Nisha v'lachin achin shishal t'lemi. You replied first to the first question and last to the last question. This that you're asking, Shamiato la'avdachal Yaakov. I am a Yaakov servant. Targum the Avdecha Yaakov. The Targum says of your servant Yaakov. And you asked for what are these before you? It is a gift sent. Yaakov. And he commanded also the second one. Also the third one. Also all those who are followed the herd saying. In this manner shall you speak to Esav. When you meet him, and you shall say, behold, your servant Yaakov is behind us. Ki Omar, for he said, I will appease him. I will appease him, appease his anger with a gift that is going before me. Afterwards, I will see his face. Perhaps he will favor me. Rashi says, I will do away with his anger. The Torah says, and your treatly, the death, shall be nullified. Which means you shall not be able to rid of yourself of kapara. It appears to me in my eyes that any kapara near to sin or transgression or near the word countenance are terms of wiping away or removal. This is an Aramaic expression. There are many instances in the Talmud, and he wiped his hands. He wishes to wipe his hands on his person. In the biblical Hebrew also, the sprinkling basins which are holy are called kapuri zav. Because the kohen wipes his hand on them at the edge of the sprinkling basin. So he passed. So the gift passed on before him. He lodged that night in the camp. Rashi says as on his face. And similarly, violence and spoils is heard there before me. He too, Yaakov, was in an angry mood that he required all this. When he rose that night, so he took his 2 wives and his maidservants and his 11 children, and he crossed the ford of the Yabek. So where was Dinah? For now, put Dinah in a box and he locked it. So that Esav should not look at her. Therefore, Yaakov was punished for withholding from his brother. Maybe if he would have married her, he would have done shuvah. Nothing without Shem, and she fell into the hands of Shem. Yabayik Shem, I know the name of the river. Vayikachem, and he took them. He brought them across the stream. And he took across what was his Rashi. So the animals and the movables. He made himself like a ferry, taking from here and the depositing there. Yaakov was left alone by Yabaik, before the Yabaik. Before crossing, he didn't cross over. He was there by himself. And a man wrestled with him till the break of dawn. What happened? He forgot small bottles and returned over there. By Avig, Menachem explains, and a man became Lashon Oba, Kshem Malam Ofer Raglim, I did not know. By Avig, Menachem explains, and a man became covered with dust derived from Avig dust. They were raising dust with their feet through their movements. Now, Lashon Vayishlach. I believe, however, it means the term of attaching himself. This is an Aramaic expression. After they became attached to it, and he would tie it. This is an expression of tying. It's the habit of two people who make strong efforts to throw each other down. The one who braces the other and attaches himself with his arms. Our Chacham say that this is the prince of Esau. So either Bayavik means a lashon of like dust when two people fight. There's a lot of dust that happens between the fight, or Bayavik is a lashon of these kashas. And he saw that he cannot prevail him. And he touched the socket of his hip. I take a kaf Yonach Yaakov, and the socket of Yaakov's hip became dislocated as he wrestled him. So the upper thigh bone that is thrust into the hip bone is called kaf. Because the flesh of it is like sort of a pot ladle. But teka can dislocate it, it became dislocated from this joint. And similarly, unless my soul be alienated from you. Lashon Hasara is a expression of Masada of Mishnah. The Mishnah says to tear out the roots. The angel said, "Let me go. The dawn is breaking." I'm not going to let you go unless you mention me. Rashi, I have to sing praise to Hashem. Acknowledge for me the brachas that my father blessed me. And that Esav is contesting. He said, "What is your name?" He said, "Yaakov." Your name is no longer Yaakov. Kim Yisrael, rather it's Yisrael. Because you have commanding power with an angel of Hashem and with men, and you have prevailed. It's no longer going to say that the brachas came to you through trickery and deceit, but with nobility and openness. Ultimately, the Eibishter will reveal himself to you in Beis Kel and change your name, and then he will bench you, and I will be there. I will be there, and I will acknowledge them as being Yaakov. This is what it means. He strove with an angel and prevailed over him. He wept and supplicated him. Which means, with what did he supplicate him? Beis El, and Beis El, you will find him, and there he will speak with us. Wait for me until we reach there. Yaakov didn't want that. Then Yaakov, the angel acknowledged with the blessing as being Yaakov. Yaakov did not consent to release the angel, and against the angel's will, he had to give him a bracha. He entreated him to wait, but he did not wish to do so. For them. Yaakov said, "What's your name?" He said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" He blessed him. There's a question, which means we don't have a permanent name. We say no. Our names change. All according to the service that we are commanded to do so in the mission.